My name is Margaret, and I'm 60 years old. I have 4 children. 4. A girl, a boy, and then 2 more girls. They are 35, 32, 30, and 28. For 35 years, my life was a chaotic, beautiful, exhausting, and relentless experiment in motherhood. With 4 different children, you get to try 4 different strategies. I was the strict mom, the lenient mom, the best friend mom, and the hands-off mom. I was the mom who pushed for academic success, the mom who championed athletic achievement, the mom who encouraged artistic expression, and the mom who just hoped they'd stay out of trouble. I've read the books, I've listened to the experts, I've tried it all. I was a woman in a laboratory, constantly tweaking the formula, trying to find the perfect recipe for raising good, happy, successful human beings. And now, at 60, with the lab closed and the experiments over, I've looked at the results. And I've realized that out of all the thousands of variables, all the strategies, all the worries, all the triumphs, all the failures, only one thing actually mattered. One. And it's the one thing I so often got wrong. It's the one thing that, if I could go back, I would do differently with every single one of them, every single day. And I'm here to tell you what it is, in the hope that it might save you a few decades of trial and error. My 4 children are 4 different worlds. My eldest, Emma, was my first draft. She was the one I practiced on. I was a young, ambitious mother, and I was determined to raise a successful daughter. I was the achievement mom. I pushed her hard. I signed her up for everything: ballet, piano, advanced reading programs. I was her coach, her tutor, her manager. I was obsessed with her performance, with her grades, with her future. I thought my job was to build her into a winner. She was a good kid, and she complied. She became a doctor. She's successful. She has a beautiful family. By all external measures, my strategy was a success. But our relationship for many years was formal, distant. She respected me, but I'm not sure she liked me. She saw me as her boss, not her mom. Then came my son, James. After the intensity of raising Emma, I swung the pendulum in the opposite direction. With James, I was the friend mom. I wanted him to like me. I wanted to be the cool mom, the one he could talk to about anything. I was lenient with rules. I tried to be his confidant. I was desperate for his approval. I thought my job was to be his ally, to make his life as happy and conflict-free as possible. He was a happy social kid. But as he got older, I realized that by trying to be his friend, I had failed to be his parent. He didn't respect my authority. He didn't see me as a source of wisdom or guidance. He saw me as a peer, and sometimes a pushover. I had abdicated my role as his mother in exchange for his friendship, and in doing so, I had left him without a firm foundation, without the security of knowing that there was a parent in the room. My 3rd child, Lily, was a sensitive, artistic soul. She was quiet, introverted, and lived in a world of her own creation. She was nothing like her older sister, and with her I tried a new approach. I was the supportive mom. I had learned from my mistakes with Emma, and I was determined not to push Lily into a mold she didn't fit. I bought her art supplies, I praised her drawings, I encouraged her creativity. I thought my job was to be her patron, her biggest fan. I gave her the freedom I had denied Emma. But in my effort to be supportive, I was also hands-off. I was so afraid of imposing my own will that I failed to give her any guidance at all. I left her to navigate the world on her own, and she struggled. She struggled with social anxiety. She struggled with self-discipline. She struggled to find her place in the world. I had given her freedom, but I had not given her the tools to handle it. And finally, there was my youngest, Sophie. By the time Sophie came along, I was tired. I was a veteran of the motherhood wars, and I was running out of strategies. With Sophie, I was the exhausted mom. I was less involved, less engaged. I had 3 other kids who demanded my attention. I assumed she would just be okay. I provided for her, I loved her, but I was not an active participant in her daily life. I was a background character. She was a good kid, she was independent, she never caused any trouble. But she was also a kid who learned not to need her mother. She learned to solve her own problems, to soothe her own hurts, to celebrate her own victories. Our relationship was not bad, but it was thin. It lacked the depth and intimacy that I had, in my own flawed ways, tried to build with her siblings. 4 children, 4 strategies, 4 different outcomes. For years, I would analyze it like a business problem. What worked? What didn't? What was the optimal strategy? I was looking for a formula, a one-size-fits-all solution to the complex equation of motherhood. I was looking for the secret to getting it right. And then a few years ago, I had a moment of profound and devastating clarity. It was my 60th birthday party. My husband had thrown a big celebration, and all 4 of my children were there, with their own families. And I was sitting in a chair just watching them. I watched Emma, the doctor, talking to her own daughter, and I saw the same intensity, the same focus on performance that I had shown her. I watched James, the social butterfly, struggling to set boundaries with his own son. I watched Lily, the artist, looking lost and overwhelmed in the crowd. And I watched Sophie, the independent one, standing off to the side, perfectly content in her own world, but not really a part of ours. And in that moment, I saw it. I saw the through line. I saw the one thing that connected all of my failures, all of my flawed strategies. It was not about being strict or lenient, about pushing or supporting, about being a friend or a boss. It was something much deeper, much simpler, and much more profound. The only thing that truly mattered, the only question I should have been asking myself every single day with every single child was this: did they feel seen? That's it. That's the whole thing. The only thing that matters. Not are they successful, not are they happy, not are they well behaved, but do they feel seen by me? Do they feel that I see them for who they truly are, in all their messy, beautiful, and unique glory? Do they feel that I see their fears, their dreams, their struggles, their joys? Do they feel that I see the person behind the performance, the child behind the report card, the soul behind the smile? When I look back through that lens, my failures become painfully clear. I didn't see Emma. I saw a project. I saw a future doctor, a winner, a reflection of my own ambition. I saw her achievements, but I did not see her anxiety, her fear of disappointing me, the weight of my expectations on her small shoulders. She did not feel seen. She felt evaluated. I didn't see James. I saw a friend. I saw a source of my own validation, a way to feel like a cool mom. I saw his smiles, but I did not see his need for a mother, for a steady hand, for a safe harbor. He did not feel seen. He felt managed. I didn't see Lily. I saw an artist. I saw a delicate flower that I needed to protect from the world. I saw her talent, but I did not see her loneliness, her need for guidance, her desire for a mother who would not just admire her art, but would enter her world and sit with her in it. She did not feel seen. She felt observed. And I didn't see Sophie. I barely saw her at all. I saw a 4th child, another responsibility, a girl who was good at taking care of herself. I saw her independence, but I did not see the small girl who had learned that the only way to survive in a busy family was to make herself invisible. She did not feel seen. She felt overlooked. To see your child is an active verb. It is not a passive state. It is a choice you make every single day. It is the choice to put down your phone and look them in the eye when they are talking to you. It is the choice to listen to the story behind their words, to the feeling behind their behavior. It is the choice to be curious about their inner world, to ask them questions about their dreams, their fears, their passions. It is the choice to see their mistakes not as failures to be corrected, but as clues to where they are struggling. It is the choice to see their strengths not as assets to be leveraged, but as beautiful expressions of their unique soul. Seeing your child is the antidote to every flawed parenting strategy. If you see your child, you cannot be a dictator, because you will see their own will, their own desires, and you will respect them. If you see your child, you cannot be a pushover, because you will see their need for boundaries, for security, for a parent who is strong enough to say no. If you see your child, you cannot be a bystander, because you will see their need for your presence, for your engagement, for your guidance. Seeing your child is the most powerful form of love. It is more powerful than providing for them, more powerful than protecting them, more powerful than teaching them, because to be truly seen is to be truly known, and to be truly known is to be truly loved. It is to know that you are not just a project, not just a friend, not just an artist, not just another kid. It is to know that you are you, and that you, in all your glorious, messy, and imperfect humanity, are enough. I am 60 years old, and I am learning to see my children for the first time. I am learning to have conversations with them that are not about their performance, but about their personhood. I am learning to ask them questions and then to just listen, without an agenda, without a solution, without a judgment. I am learning to apologize for the years I spent looking at them without truly seeing them. It is slow, humbling work, but it is the only work that matters, because the trophies will tarnish, the report cards will fade, the careers will change, but the feeling of being seen, that is a gift that lasts a lifetime. It is the foundation upon which a child builds a life of self-worth, of resilience, of a deep and abiding knowledge that they matter. That is the only thing that in the end truly matters. Let's break down what seeing really means. It's not just about paying attention. It's about a quality of attention. It's an attention that is rooted in curiosity, not in judgment. It's an attention that is focused on understanding, not on correcting. It's an attention that says, I am not here to fix you, I am here to know you. Think about the difference between looking at a painting and seeing a painting. When you look at a painting, you might notice the colors, the subject matter, the basic composition. But when you see a painting, you notice the brush strokes, the play of light and shadow, the emotion that the artist was trying to convey. You see the story behind the image. To see your child is to see the story behind their image. It is to see the brushstrokes of their personality, the light and shadow of their moods, the story of their heart. I was a looker, not a seer. I looked at Emma's report card, but I didn't see the anxiety behind her perfect grades. I looked at James's social calendar, but I didn't see the emptiness behind his popularity. I looked at Lily's drawings, but I didn't see the loneliness behind her creativity. I looked at Sophie's independence, but I didn't see the neglect behind her self-sufficiency. I was so busy looking at the surface of their lives that I never bothered to look into the depths of their souls. And because I did not see them, they could not see themselves. A child's sense of self is a mirror of how they are seen by their parents. If they are seen as a project, They will see themselves as a set of tasks to be completed. If they are seen as a friend, they will see themselves as a source of entertainment. If they are seen as an artist, they will see themselves as a fragile and delicate thing. If they are seen as an afterthought, they will see themselves as unimportant. But if they are seen as a whole, complex, and wonderful human being, they will see themselves as worthy of love and respect, just as they are. The work of seeing is the work of letting go. It is the work of letting go of your own ego, your own ambitions, your own fears. It is the work of letting go of the need to be right, the need to be in control, the need to have a plan. It is the work of surrendering to the beautiful, terrifying, and unpredictable mystery of who your child is and who they are becoming. It is a quiet work. It does not happen in the grand gestures, in the expensive vacations, in the perfectly planned parties. It happens in the small, everyday moments. It happens when you put down your work to listen to a long, rambling story about a video game. It happens when you validate their anger, even if you don't agree with it. It happens when you ask them, "What was that like for you?" And then you actually listen to the answer. It happens when you see them struggling, and instead of jumping in to fix it, you say, "This is hard. I am here with you." It happens when you make a mistake and you apologize, and you let them see your own humanity. I am trying to do that now. I am trying to be a seer. I am trying to have conversations with my children that are not about logistics, not about advice, not about my own opinions. I am trying to have conversations that are about them. I am trying to ask questions that have no other purpose than to understand. What's on your heart today, Emma? What are you struggling with, James? What is bringing you joy, Lily? What do you need from me, Sophie? It is awkward at first. They are not used to it. They are waiting for the other shoe to drop, for the advice, for the judgment, for the agenda. But slowly, tentatively, they are learning to trust it. They are learning that I am not trying to fix them, that I am just trying to know them. And in that knowing, we are finding a new kind of relationship. A relationship that is not based on roles or strategies or outcomes. A relationship that is based on the simple, profound, and life-changing act of truly seeing another human being. I was a woman who had 4 strategies, and they all failed, because there is only one strategy that works, and it is not a strategy at all. It is a way of being. It is the way of being a witness to the miracle of your child's life. It is the way of being a student of their soul. It is the way of being a mirror that reflects back to them their own infinite worth. It is the way of seeing. That is the only thing that matters. And if you can get that one thing right, everything else will fall into place. Or it won't. And that will be okay too. Because you will have given your child the one thing they need to navigate whatever life throws at them. The unshakable knowledge that they are seen, that they are known, and that they are loved unconditionally and completely for exactly who they are. The tragedy of my story is that I was a woman with good intentions. I loved my children. I wanted the best for them. But my love was filtered through the lens of my own ego, my own fears, my own definition of success. And so it was a conditional love. It was a love that said, I will love you if you are successful. I will love you if you are happy. I will love you if you are easy. I will love you if you are like me. But the only love that truly nourishes a child is a love that has no if. It is a love that says, I love you, period. To see your child is to love them without the if. It is to love the anxious, high-achieving Emma, and the insecure, people-pleasing James, and the lost, sensitive Lily, and the invisible, self-sufficient Sophie. It is to love the parts of them that are not easy, that are not successful, that are not a reflection of you. It is to love them not for their potential, but for their reality. It is to love them in their mess, in their struggle, in their confusion. It is to love them into wholeness. I am learning to do this late in life. I am learning to sit with my children in their struggles without trying to fix them. I am learning to celebrate their choices without needing to approve of them. I am learning to admire their strengths without trying to leverage them. I am learning to be a mother who is not a coach, not a friend, not a patron, not a bystander, but a witness, a loving, compassionate, and deeply curious witness to the 4 extraordinary human beings that I have the privilege of calling my children. And what I am discovering is that the more I see them, the more I see myself. The more I understand their struggles, the more I understand my own. The more I have compassion for their imperfections, the more I have compassion for my own. In learning to see my children, I am for the first time learning to see myself, and I am learning that I too am worthy of a love that has no if. So this is my message to you from the other side of the motherhood experiment. It is not about the strategy. It is not about the formula. It is not about getting it right. It is about one thing and one thing only. It is about seeing. It is about bearing witness to the miracle of your child's existence. It is about being the one person in the world who knows them, truly knows them, and loves them anyway. That is the work. That is the joy. That is the legacy. That is the only thing that in the end I have come to understand truly matters.